everyone, and welcome to season five of the Rewind Project. I am Eric.
I'm Allie.
I'm Matt.
And we are joined today by an illustrious panel of judges that are actually going to help us choose our slate of films for the year. So you might have tuned in thinking, I don't even know what movies you're talking about. Guess what? Neither do we.
We don't. It's so exciting. It's my favorite show of the year. I'm very excited to push my values and judgments on movies on everybody else.
That's awesome. That's what we all do. And I'm excited to find out because, I will admit I'm a fan of this show that we do ourselves. So I'm excited to find out what we're talking about this year. I do want the folks who are joining us today to introduce themselves a little bit. So folks who are tuning in know who is helping us make all these decisions. Just because you're first on my Zoom screen, I'm going to start with you, downtown Marcus Brown.
Hello, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. How's everybody doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Good. Doing well. So to introduce myself, I am Marcus Brown. I am a huge nerd. I am a movie gourmet, and I love being on the podcast whenever you all invite me. So happy to be here.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. Next up, we've got Adam Palcher from the Deep Dive Film School. Tell us a little about yourself and tell us a little bit about your pod.
Hey guys, really excited to be on with my co-host, another Adam. Very cute. We know, we actually been doing our podcast in some form, for, I think our first, correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, but I think our first episode we posted was in 2007, which is wild. So we've been doing this a long time and really appreciate the invite. Deep Dive Film School. Check us out.
Wherever quality media is obtained, is that what it is?
Wherever you get your podcasts.
It's a good catch-all. Yeah. Wherever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, totally.
Do my Ira Glass, wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, Adam, Sherlock, why don't you also say hello here?
I'm Adam Sherlock. And yes, I think our first episode was in 2007 before I had any gray hair in my beard, and we would say, we do a podcast, and people would go, oh, I'll have to watch that. And you're like, it's a podcast, can't watch it, gotta listen, because nobody knew what it was yet. So, we've been doing this for a really long time, but we're really excited to be here. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, I am a huge fan of Deep Dive Film School. I actually discovered you guys while doing research. One of our little jokes on the Rewind Project is that we do research before every episode, which basically means we scour the internet for trivia. But YouTube is a great place to find some of that stuff. And I don't remember what movie we were doing, but I punched in the name of the movie and you guys were talking about it. And I watched the whole thing and I'm like, they're hilarious. And so then I started watching a whole bunch of your episodes.
12 Angry Men, right?
I think it was. Yes. You did an episode on 12 Angry Men and that's what we were talking about. And there we go. So awesome. So glad you guys are here. John from St. Louis, go ahead.
I am John from St. Louis. I've been listening forever, before it was even the Rewind Project and this population. I like old movies. I like modern movies sometimes, and it's just kind of fun to see how these things aged.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. And then finally, Thom and Justin Godwin are joining us from Arlington, Virginia. Hello, boys.
Hello there. So, I'm Justin. I've been on the pod once before with Miracle on 34th Street. That was really, really fun. And, it's always fun to kind of needle Allie about Christmas movies. So I'm hoping that there might be one that you guys have found for this season. I did some looking myself and couldn't come up with one. So I don't know. Maybe you guys found that needle in a haystack. But yeah. So, I'm really excited to learn more about Adam and Adam's podcast. That sounds really cool.
And I'm Thom, and I'm a friend of Eric, Matt, and Allie. I like movies. I would not call myself a cinephile. But if you can't be a cinephile, you can be a cinephile supporter.
That's right.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. By the way, Justin, A Christmas Story was released in 1983. Ooh. So, maybe Allie's going to fight some people over that one. We're only doing one movie from 1983, as you'll discover.
It's not going to be a goddamn Christmas movie, all right? Okay? Put that out there. And spoiler.
None of the jury has anything to do with it.
Spoiler, none of my 48 movies are also holiday related, so.
All righty. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into the game, and we are going to go the way that our season goes. Because we are the Rerun Project, we go backwards in time, and our first little mini season is going to be about the films of 1998, which, believe it or not, was 25 years ago. So all of these films are going to be celebrating their silver anniversary. They will be the most recent in our stash, and yet they seem like yesterday, a lot of them for me. So we're going to go ahead and start our little game. Allie and Matt and I are all going to bring up a little card that says 1998 on it. And one at a time, we're going to turn them over and tell folks what we are pitching. Now, it's very likely in this first round that we'll pick 3 different movies and they'll all get in, and not a whole lot for folks to do. But believe this will get interesting before we're done. Allie, why don't you go ahead and go first and tell us what is our first film for 1998?
So my number one choice for 1998 is the always classic. I don't know that I've seen it since 1998. I know that we will have lots of things to chat about. Is LA Confidential.
Okay, awesome. Love it. Matt, go ahead.
Gods and Monsters.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a spoiler. Gods and Monsters was my second choice, so I automatically get to graduate to my third. So I'm just gonna say it right now. So far, I'm winning. But my first choice for 1998 was a movie that is just a weird movie, but I love it and I like talking about weird shit. So this is a case. All 3 of us chose 3 different movies for our first picks. They're all getting in: LA Confidential, Gods and Monsters, and Pleasantville.
I've never seen that. I've never seen
Tobey
that.
Maguire, Reese Witherspoon, Joan Allen, William H. Macy. Brilliant stuff. Okay. Gods and Monsters, by the way, is amazing. And Brendan Fraser is just nice to look at in that movie.
Yes.
I'm going to say that.
That was probably my first gay film. That's one of the reasons I wanted to talk about, or my first film about gay people that I actually wanted. That's why I wanted to talk about it.
That doesn't exist on pay-per-view.
Exactly. Yes.
Right. Okay. All right. So nothing interesting that required a vote so far, but we're going to go ahead and move on to. I'm already on my third choice, and my third choice is getting in.
Because my second choice was going to be Pleasantville.
Then you get to move on to number 3 too.
Oh, I didn't pick either of those movies, so my second choice is still my second choice, and I have 3 others behind that. So
okay, all right, here we go. So Matt and I are both working on number 3. Yeah, so don't pitch Pleasantville because that's.
I was curious about that. Okay,
no, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, so here we go. Back to 98. Matt, we're going to start with you.
Elizabeth was my favorite movie of that year. She deserved the Oscar, and Gwyneth can suck it. She should not have won it. So, yeah, Elizabeth.
Okay, Kate Blanchett. I love to see it. Allie, go ahead.
1998. I cannot believe that we have not mentioned this movie. It is a fucking classic. The Truman Show. Hello. Jim Carrey's best role, ? And really, in 1998, people were not doing it like they're doing it today. So, Truman Show.
Very prescient. Yes, I think that'll be interesting to talk about. I have lots of complicated feelings about The Truman Show, but you know what?
Right.
We'll get into it. Okay, so my third choice for 1988, I went Sexy. And we still don't have anything to pitch off, which means the next round we're going to have a 3-way pitch session.
I can't wait. It's been a minute.
But before we get there, I have to offer George Clooney and J-Lo Trapped in a Trunk.
I've never seen that movie.
It is so hot. I mean, it is the sexiest thing I have ever seen on screen in my entire life. So going forward, Matt, what did you pick again?
Elizabeth.
Truman Show. And Out of Sight.
All right, I'm going rogue with my 3-way.
Yeah,
I'm going to my 5th choice, which is now going to be my 3rd choice.
Okay, I'll explain why later, but I'm really having a hard time with this last one. Okay, but we're just going to go for it. Okay, so this is number 7. So unless all of us pick the same movie, which is highly unlikely, we're going to have the panel vote on this one. This is going to be our 7th film of 1998. So cards up, everybody. I will.
Okay. All right. Okay.
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 I will go first. I chose this one because it's kind of a cult classic, but I think talking about why people are still obsessed with this movie, I think could be really interesting. And that is The Big Lebowski.
Ooh.
So we know where Allie feels about that one. Allie, go ahead. What do you got that's better?
I mean, I don't know better. Better is subjective, but this is certainly a great discussion and also very prescient in 2023, unfortunately. And that is Apt Pupil.
Ooh.
Okay, so another Ian McKellen. We want to have an Ian McKellen double feature.
Yes, but you know, the rise of Nazism in 2023 hasn't changed much in 2020 to 25 years. So
okay, there we go. And Matt, go ahead.
Unfortunately, that's not the movie we'll be watching.
Okay.
Lebowski.
Well, you know, we still get to have a vote. So folks are going to have to put in their chat. Which is it, guys? Is it The Big Lebowski or Apt Pupil? Go ahead and put in chat what you would like to.
are we going to share the other ones that we had too? I'd like to.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Because this was number 5, but I elevated it. And I feel like that was the great decision.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3. The 3 of us might have to vote as well if we're going to get a tie. So I see 1, 2, 3 for Big Lebowski, 3 for Apt Pupil. So if all of us voted as well, assuming that we're going to vote for the films that we pitched, I'll go ahead and put mine in. So, Matt, which one are you voting for?
Pupil was a really good movie.
It was a good movie. Are you going to change your...
I almost
it's
put it
all
in
up to
my
you.
round.
Are you the Matt Gaetz of our show?
I'm going to say Big Lebowski, though, because I've actually never seen it, and I'm curious as to why. I love Coen Brother films, but I'm curious why this thing has such a life to it.
Well, thank you to my supporters. I appreciate it.
If you voted for The Big Lebowski, jump on in, panel members, and tell us why.
I'd be happy to speak up and say that The Big Lebowski is such a phenomenon in pop culture, and it's such a cult classic at this point. I think it has wide appeal, and I think more listeners would honestly see the title of the movie and say, hey, I want to hear what these guys have to say about that. And I think it would also make for a very interesting conversation to see how it actually ages. So I have not seen it in years. So I'd be very interested to watch it again in kind of that 2023 lens and see how it holds up.
I would put it on there just because it's one of the best Coen Brothers movies. It is just an endless classic. More than anything, I want to hear why Allie doesn't like it. Because honestly, the first time I saw it, I don't really know how I felt about it. Now that was back in the 90s, but it's one of those movies that the more you watch, the funnier it gets. And Jeff Bridges is just absolutely brilliant. So is John Goodman. The Coens use John Goodman in a lot of roles. Him as Walter here absolutely is like, you can't help but not laugh. Plus, it's just a stoner comedy mixed with like a variety of other genres, which the Coens are so good at, is just mixing those genres and creating those characters that everyone kind of knows, but like you've never seen them on film before.
Okay, awesome. Now, I did receive a point of order in the chat question, and IMDb actually says yes. Allie, it looks like LA Confidential was actually released in 1997.
Then why was it on the list of 1998 movies that I looked at?
I don't know, because it was released late in 97 because it was Oscar bait, so it made a lot of money in 98. But it's actually a 97 film. So tell us what your last one was, because guess what? It's getting in.
Someone lied on the internet?
Someone lied on the internet. No, that happens a lot. That happens a lot that happens a lot because it probably it made most of its money in 1998. Yeah. So it'll show up on the 98 box office receipts, but it's a 97 film.
Well, then I vote Apt Pupil.
Okay.
Placement. Can I do
that's
that?
Good. You can, if that's okay. And then let's talk about the movies that didn't get in. Allie, go ahead and what was remaining on your list?
A movie that I've actually never seen, but still not that interested. Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
I just was like, we do a lot of war movies. I wasn't that interested in it. Eventually I'll see it. I was told that I really only need to see like the first 20 minutes, and I don't need to see the rest of it. Just from like a filmmaking standpoint. And then
yes, the first 20 minutes are amazing, but the rest of it's a good movie too. That's that's been overblown.
Well, I mean, we'll see. And then the last one, also prescient in 2023, Primary Colors, which I loved the book and I loved the movie. And I thought that would also be a good conversation, but kind of fell. I think At Pupil is a better discussion.
John Travolta as Clinton is pretty fun. I picked a film that didn't get in that was based on a book. And this novel was written by a woman who went to Jamaica, found herself a man, and wrote all about it in this big steamy book. But then after the book was published, the man came out as gay and the whole thing fell apart. And so just lots of tea to spill about how Stella got her groove back. But anyway, that one did not make the final cut. Matt, what was your final one?
The Wedding Singer. I've never actually seen the movie.
You have? Oh, it's really good.
I'm not a rom-com person, so I've always skipped it. But they've done they did several movies together, so I kind of thought this. I think this was the first one that they did together, so I thought this would be a good movie to see.
I always make an exception for Drew, but sure.
I have a black heart. You know, I'm not a rom-com person, and I find Wedding Singer extremely charming. So you should. It's like a good like Friday night, shitty weather movie.
Yeah, it's one of Sandler's better ones, honestly.
Yeah. And that was the other reason I wanted to see it, is because I think he has these brilliant moments. You don't get to see him a lot. So I thought this would be a good movie to see.
So the next thing that we're going to do is, before we get to our movies on 73, we have what we call an interstitial season, where we do one film each from the 5-year milestones in between. So Allie and Matt and I all should have cards that have one movie each from 78, 88, 83, and 93. And the way that we play this game is that we can pick one from the entire interstitial season. And if we bring up cards and you see that somebody's got the same year, it's going to be a pitch, and we're ready to bring in the panel to vote on that. So we have to pick out of the 4, which one do we feel the strongest about? And if you stand alone in your year, then it's getting in. But if not, then we're gonna have a bit of a standoff here and make some pitches around what we're gonna do. So Allie, Matt, and I, go ahead and raise a card for one film.
All right.
Which of the 4 do you want to pitch first? You ready? Everyone, years up. Okay, so Matt's choice for 93 is getting in. So Matt, go ahead and let us know what that is.
We can't do this pod without talking about Jurassic Park.
Yes!
Jurassic Park. Okay. And Allie and I are having a bit of a standoff in terms of 1988. I knew this was going to happen, but Allie, go ahead and share with us what movie you'd like to pitch for 88.
Yes, of course. This is a classic film. This is the start of many careers. This is Harrison Ford's hottest movie. It is Working Girl, and we are going to have a convo about it.
Unless we end up having a convo about a film by my favorite film director of all time, who we have never discussed in 5 years on this pod.
Wow.
We have also never done a foreign language film on the pod ever. And I would like to introduce as our first one, because it's so much fun, Pedro Almodovar's Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. It is colorful. It is farcy. It is hilarious. It features a very young, very sexy Antonio Banderas. So a little bit of star quality there. But the cast of women is hysterical. And he's had such a huge influence over cinema of the last 20 years that I think it merits a lot of conversation. So panel, it's up to you. We're choosing between Working Girl and Women on the Verge.
Joan Cusack's best movie? Question mark?
Perhaps, maybe In and Out. Yep.
Maybe.
It's 6-6.
It's 6-6, which means Allie and I are choosing our own. And Matt, it is once again up to you.
I'm actually going to go with Working Girl. I've never seen it.
Okay.
Can't wait.
All right. The Almodovar stands will be disappointed, as am I. But
I mean, it's not like they can't go and watch the movie anyways.
They can, but they can't hear us talking about it, which, by the way, I want to do another shout out. The Deep Dive Film School did a fantastic look at a bunch of Almodovar movies. So go listen to those. Since you can't listen to us talk about my favorite film director of all time. But trust and believe, season 6, we will get there. Okay.
He truly is a under. I know he's a huge thing, but really to movie nerds. But like, he truly changed my view of him when we did that festival of him, where we did 4 different movies of his, and And if anything, watch more foreign films. So
yeah, he's astounding. He is just astounding. Okay, my 93 choice, which we will not choose.
I was going to ask.
Probably everyone's going to be really grateful because this one was going to be a depressing. Schindler's List is just a classic. It's a Spielberg. It's amazing. We're not going to talk about it.
You're making out during Schindler's List? No, mine equally depressing and a movie I've never seen before. Philadelphia.
Man, Antonio Banderas is just not winning today. He is just not winning. Okay, so it's between 83 and 78 at this point. Oh, go ahead, Matt.
88 was going to be Beetlejuice.
That was a really tough one because I can script that movie, but I figured I had seen it so many times that.
Valid. Yeah. Okay, so our panel is going to do some work again because now it's between 83 and 78. So pick the one that you feel the strongest about. And let's go. Okay, so it's a battle between 3 78 films. Matt, go ahead and go first.
We've been barraged by a lot of superhero films. I feel like we need to talk about the one that kind of started it all. So I want to talk about Superman. Richard Donner classic.
Okay, I will go next. This is a film that I almost can guarantee everyone here has seen. How it has aged and how it is sometimes aged not so well is a perennial topic of conversation. I think we can always spend an hour talking about Grease. There's just so much shit to unpack in this 45-year-old film. 45, Jesus Christ. Okay, Allie, what's our third option?
Yes, I also went the musical route, but I went groundbreaking musical, The Wiz.
Okay, so it's a 3-choice option between Superman, Grease, and The Wiz. Not an easy choice. I do not envy our panel. But go ahead and let us know in chat what you think is going to be the best route. Marcus, that hurt you, I could tell.
It's a hard choice to make.
Okay, no votes for Grease. Interesting. So we have 1, 2, 3 for Superman, 3 for The Wiz, which means it's up to me to make the final choice here. Wow. You know,
Can I just step in and say Sidney Lumet directed The Wiz?
Oh my God, that's right. That's worth talking about alone, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's worth I don't know. I mean, okay. This one is difficult. I'm going to say, you know, I'm not seeing right now our entire slate that we've got up till now looks real white. And so I think I'm going to choose The Wiz for that reason. If we were talking about Superman 3, which hopefully we will never, ever do.
Yeah, we won't talk about that because I wouldn't do that to Richard.
We don't acknowledge that film exists.
Yeah. No one should talk about Superman 3 ever.
No. But yeah, 78 looks like we are talking about The Wiz. Okay, so...
I love that your representation movie is The fucking Wiz.
You know what? I don't get to make all these choices.
Come on, and he's on down the road.
Okay, so 83 is still up for grabs, is it not? So, guys, it's going to be another 3-way blowout between 3 1983 picks. I changed my mind about 1983 literally 5 minutes before we get on.
I have 2 solid movies.
You got to pick one. That's why you got to put your card up. That's why we make you put your cards up. We're not going to let you.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm not solid on this, but okay.
All right. And just for that, Allie, I'm going to make you go first.
All right. It was a really hard choice. This is what I chose. I've actually never seen it. I've always wanted to see it. And what's a better way than to spend a morning talking about Scarface?
Okay.
And then I'll tell you what my other choice. I'll tell you what my other choice was.
I'll tell you what my other one was too when we're done. Matt, go ahead.
I went with the classic War Games.
Okay, and for me, mine. I'll just go ahead and tell you what I chose, and then we'll go back. I just went to the Oscars, and I just saw this movie called Spoiler Alert. Have you seen that? That directly references this movie that is now 40 years old, and everyone in the theater got the joke. So I went with Terms of Endearment. Big Oscar winner that year. Jack Nicholson was in that movie. Obviously, Shirley MacLaine, Deborah Winger. Give my daughter the shot. Yeah, so lots of shit going on there. So Panel, it's up to you. Is it very wide selection here between Scarface and Terms of Endearment?
I think this really tells a lot about our personalities.
All right, so 2 for Terms, 3 for Scarface, and 1 for War Games. So Scarface is going to be our 1983 choice. Okay.
I'm going to be very busy in the interstitial.
You are. I was the big loser in our interstitial. I didn't get a single one.
That was me last year.
I don't regret standing for Almodovar. I do not regret it, but it'll happen one of these days.
What was your other choice, Eric? I'll tell you what mine was and the thought process behind it.
Okay, so my choice was a movie that I saw in 1983, and it was the last time I saw it, and I loved it in 1983. And then I went online to watch a scene in YouTube, and it was so badly acted, I couldn't even finish the 5-minute clip. And that was Jennifer Beals in Flashdance.
Oh, yeah.
Which could have been a fun conversation because that movie was a phenom. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I couldn't subject my friends to that.
Mine was a movie I've never seen and a book I've never read, but it takes place in my newly formed hometown, The Outsiders.
Oh, that was on my list too of movies to.
There is an Outsiders tour that you can take in Tulsa, and you can like go to the Outsiders house. I don't know what that means. I've never seen it, but I thought that I was like, oh, that could be really fun. Like, you know, I could take pictures and stuff. But then I was like, maybe there's a reason I haven't actually seen it.
Perhaps.
Okay,
so moving right along. Now we are going to our golden anniversary season, the films of 1973. So cards up for your first choice of 73 films. And Matt, go ahead.
American Graffiti.
George Lucas, hopefully better than THX 1138.
Fingers crossed. I've never actually seen this movie, but this is a movie that he is well known for, though, and a lot of people point to this movie as to why he is a good director. So fingers crossed, this is actually a good film.
Good is I've seen it. I enjoyed it. It'll be fun to watch again. It's in American Graffiti. Allie, what's next?
Great. That was my second choice. So I will move right along to my third for the next one. But yeah, Matt, you were talking about, some big nerd movies. I think this one's a pretty big nerd movie. Soylent Green.
Ooh. Spoiler alert. It's people. Okay. And then Allie kind of got us started down the horror road. I'm going to take us all the way there. We are talking about The Exorcist.
That was my third choice.
Okay, well, there you go.
That was my number 2. Okay, so
all right.
Moving on.
So everyone's winning. So The Exorcist.
Glad I have 2 more choices.
Soylent Green. Was that really 73?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That shocks me.
I don't know. John can fact check me, but I think that one was 73.
It was, because I almost picked
Heston's little ascot, his little sweaty ascot he wears in that is amazing.
Yeah.
We're taking a hard right for the next. Okay, everyone, 73 cards up.
Hang on.
Okay, I will go ahead and start this round. We've got, scary and a little nostalgic. Now we are going full schmaltz.
Oh boy.
Robert Redford, Barbara Streisand.
I knew
the
it.
Way we were.
I was waiting for this choice.
There we go.
I've actually never seen it. I only know
all
the
right.
song.
Allie, what's next?
I went, we have not really had any sort of actiony, spy sort of, movies. So my pick is The Day of the Jackal.
Okay.
Which I've never seen, but based on the description was very fascinating to me. I love a spy movie, or like an assassination movie in this case.
All right.
Mean Streets. It's a Martin Scorsese film with Robert De Niro.
All right, which means we're going to have a battle to choose our last film of 1973. So choose the one.
I mean, I only have one left. I don't feel super strongly about this, so I'm curious as to what you guys are going to pick.
All right, so cards up. Matt, go ahead.
Paper Moon.
Okay, good choice. Ryan O'Neal, Tatum O'Neal, Oscar winner, very young.
Oscar for it. Yep.
Okay.
Film too from 1973.
My choice is back to creepy, scary. That I've only seen the one scene of Donald Sutherland finding his daughter drowned in the river. But Donald Sutherland, Julie Christie, Don't Look Now, creepy, scary. There we go. Allie, what about you?
All right, I'm going to go Two Hot White Men, The Sting.
All right, that was one of the ones I just put down.
Mm-hmm.
So Redford and Newman.
This is literally my last 73 choice. So.
Okay, so it's up to the panel. It's Paper Moon, Don't Look Now, or The Sting. Right now, 2 votes for The Sting, 3 votes for The Sting, 4. So The Sting it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't feel very strong about it, but thanks.
Eric, what was your last choice?
My last choice, again, I hesitated because blaxploitation is such an, it's a fraught genre, but this is a classic of that genre. It was going to be Cleopatra Jones. Now we are going to interstitial number 2. So the years are 53, 58, 63, and 68. So cards up, everybody. All right, Matt and I are going to battle it out for 58. Allie, what are we watching in 68?
We are watching one of my favorite movies of all time, the absolutely 100% classic, Rosemary's Fucking Baby.
Which was my 68 choice as well. So brilliant. Okay.
I love it. I'm so excited. I've seen it probably 50 times, and I cannot wait to talk about it for an hour and a half.
That's one of those movies. I feel like it's like The Sixth Sense, where it gets to the end and it's like this surprise ending, but it's a surprise ending that they totally showed you. It's like they showed you. Like it was there. They just showed you.
What did you say to me the other day, Palcher? Oh, yeah, everybody owns Rosemary's Baby on vinyl.
You do have the
Rosemary's Baby.
It's really good.
All right. So Battle of 58. Matt, go ahead.
Vertigo.
Okay.
I gotta take that one off of my choices.
I have a feeling you're going to win this one, but this movie is one that is aged so interestingly, and in some ways so badly. It was the Best Picture winner from 1959, and it begins with one of the best show tunes about pedophilia ever written, Thank Heaven for Little Girls. And it is Gigi, Colette's classic story about a courtesan in training and how she got her man. Whole bunch of shit to get into with this lovely, charming Lerner and Loewe musical. So is it going to be, Matt, put your card up again, Vertigo or Gigi? Everybody vote.
Am I voting or no? Just if there's a tie.
You're gonna break the tie if there's a tie.
Okay.
Okay, so 2 for Gigi, 4 for Vertigo.
Vertigo was also my 1958. Vertigo was also my 1958. Though my second 1958, along the same lines as you, I really straddled the edge here. Along the same lines as you, Eric, was Damn Yankees.
Yeah, lots of stuff to.
And what we won't be watching in 68 is Funny Girl.
Which,
tainted now.
I've never seen the movie, so I was trying to get my gay card back. That's why I put it in there.
That would do it. That movie would be a good choice for that. Okay, so next we have 53 or 63. Cards up. So Allie and I are battling it out for 53. So Matt, go ahead and tell us what we're going to be watching in 63.
Cleopatra.
Yes! Camping!
Yes. Big budget film. I've never seen it. I've always wanted to.
Me either. I'm so excited.
Elizabeth Taylor's like prominent roles. I've never actually seen the movie, so.
Okay, well, you're in for it. Just remember, you did this to us.
Sometimes they have to talk about a bad movie, and it's just as fun.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. I've never seen it. I'm so excited.
Okay, so Allie, what's our first option for 53?
I thought we didn't really have any sort of like slapsticky fun movies. A lot of them are a little like draggy. So, and this is not actually Eric, I think you're going to be surprised by this choice. It's not my usual genre or film, but I was intrigued by the description, and my 53 is Gentlemen Prefer Blondes.
Well, unfortunately, our panel's not going to have to do too much work for this one because I adore Marilyn Monroe. I think she is an icon and yet still underrated somehow. And we're going to get into the genius that is Marilyn with Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, which, by the way, I read the book recently.
Oh.
So what were our other choices that did not?
My other 50 My other 53, I was going back and forth, was The Big Heat. And then my 63, along those same lines, I also picked Vertigo. And I felt if Vertigo wasn't going to be chosen, then I was going to pick The Birds for 63.
Oh.
So I wanted a Hitchcock in there at some point.
Yep. Sounds good. Matt, any of yours?
My 53 was How to Marry a Millionaire.
Okay. So
Another Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, I think we went with the better Marilyn. I'm just going to say.
I also had Betty Grable and Lauren Bacall in it, though.
True. But not Jane Russell. Okay. And then my last 63 was a movie that no one has ever heard of. Adam and Adam have probably heard of this movie. But we talked about it in the Popperation days. But it is an abortion drama that was made in 1963. Natalie Wood and Steve McQueen about a hunt for an illegal abortion in New York City called Love with a Proper Stranger. And it's actually a pretty good movie. And just given where we are in 2023, I thought that would be timely. But you can always go back and listen to the Popperation episode about that one because we're not going to talk about it this year on this show. Okay, so now we are on the final stretch. We are going back 75 years to 1948. Hitting the home stretch. We're doing much better than Congress did when they were trying to choose a Speaker of the House, I got to say.
Yeah, we're not on our 15th round. I'm such a sucker, too. I totally watched the whole thing.
Sorry, I was reorganizing.
Okay. So, Allie, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes. Also not really, I think might be a surprise for those who know me, but I was intrigued by this movie, and I'm excited to watch it. The Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Okay, that was choice number 5 for me, so I can take that off the list. Matt, go ahead.
The Snake Pit.
That was my number 3.
Reading the
right?
synopsis for it, just like, okay. And it's based off of a book. So I was like, wow. So this is a real account of somebody in a mental institution in 1948. So it's really intriguing.
Real. Inspired by, as opposed to based on a real story, I think.
I'm interested. It was my number 3, so...
I'm not arguing the choice. I'm just saying don't expect a whole lot of realism from the Snake Pit is all I'm going to say. So mine kind of in that same vein of kind of, female led, but perhaps a little creepy, scary. Barbara Stanwyck is coming back to the pod. Sorry, wrong number.
That was going to be my number 2. Okay.
All right. You love a damsel in distress, Matt. I'm getting that.
I don't know. I like a suspenseful film. I really get suspenseful film, and generally those end up being damsels in distress for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay, so choice number 2 for 1948.
I'm not so sold on this, but we'll see.
Okay, Matt's going first.
Call Northside 777. Jimmy Stewart.
Okay. I've never heard of that movie in my life.
Nope.
Yes. So Chicago reporter PJ McNeil reopens a decade-old murder case. So it sounded interesting. So,
all right.
A crime drama.
There we go. This is not a crime drama, although the crime being that Judy Garland totally chose the wrong guy in Easter Parade. So we will be watching a holiday film this year, just not that holiday.
Well, Eric, I'll have you know that was my number 5 choice.
There you go. So, Irving Berlin, Fred Astaire, Judy Garland, Peter Lawford, Ann Miller. How can you possibly go wrong? It'll be a delightful romp.
I'm sure it'll be.
What's the next movie on our list, Allie?
A better Easter than Christmas. My next movie is The Red Shoes. I love a dancing movie. I love a ballet movie. I love all of those things. Center Stage is one of the best movies of all time. I do not want to hear it if you do not like it. So I'm excited to see a 1948 dancing movie.
Okay.
Pressburger, man. Oh, man.
Yeah. I got one left.
I got 2 more. Are we all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go ahead and start this one off. This is by the way, the panel is going to be involved in this one unless we all chose the same film. So this is another Hitch, but this is his big gay movie. So I'm excited about this one. This is Rope.
Okay. I went with another sort of film noir-ish type movie, but directed by one Mr. John Farrow, The Big Clock.
Okay.
And I went with a 1948 comedy, Mr. Blandings Builds His Dream House.
Cary Grant, Myrna Loy, right?
Yep.
Okay. Charming, lovely. So we've got 2 gay serial killers in Rope, a big clock in The Big Clock. I don't know anything about that. And the 1948 version of The Money Pit. with Cary Grant and Myrna Loy. So, panel, it is up to you. Okay, looks like for once I'm running away with this one. Looks like we're going to be watching Rope, directed by one Alfred Hitchcock.
One of his more underrated movies, I think, if it was a different movie, but like it's so good, and it's one of the ones that does the one shot pretty much the whole time as well.
There's a single cut.
Yeah, single cut.
Well, there's actually a bunch of cuts, but they zoom into something black and then they cut, because they couldn't actually do that in the ages before
that's right,
digital.
They didn't have the reels to do it. Yeah,
so, but it's like 8 10-minute cuts, and it's a tight 90. Allie, you'll love it for that. So, our last 48 choices, if we had them.
I'm out. That was it.
You're out. You got all yours selected. Matt, go ahead. What are we not watching?
Key Largo, which was the other Bogart film that year.
Yeah,
I couldn't decide between the two. Yeah,
and I love Irene Dunn, and I've never seen this movie, but she's pretty well known for I Remember Mama. So if we were going to go like old nostalgia, that's where we were going to go. So, all right, that is our roster for 1998. We are watching the Ian McKellen double feature of Apt Pupil and Gobs and Monsters, Pleasantville, Elizabeth, The Truman Show, Out of Sight, and The Big Lebowski. First interstitial is going to be 1993's Jurassic Park, 1988's Working Girl, 83's Scarface, 78 The Wiz. 1973, we are watching The Exorcist, Soylent Green, American Graffiti, The Way We Were, The Day of the Jackal, Mean Streets, and The Sting. Our second interstitial will be Rosemary's Baby, Cleopatra, Vertigo, and Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. And then finally, 1948, we are watching The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, The Snake Pit, Sorry, Wrong Number, Call Northside 7077, Easter Parade, The Red Shoes, and Rope. And that is our year to come. Allie and Matt, I hope you are excited.
I'm very excited. This is a really kind of crazy list. Like, it's like every genre known to man in this one list.
It's a little nuts. But I like it, and I think we're going to have a good time. Thank you so much to our distinguished panel of guests and voters for help.
Thank you. We hope it was worth your time.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
This is wonderful.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, and Adam, think about what movies you'd like to discuss with us, and we'll work that out in the coming year. Same goes for all of our regular friends of the pod, and we'll talk to you guys soon. We are going to sign off for now. This is The Rewind Project. I am Eric.
I'm Allie.
I'm Matt.
Be kind. Rewind.
You've been listening to The Rewind Project. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, and Google Play. Please subscribe and rate us. It helps a lot. We love your comments and questions. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and via our new phone number at 202-618-2402. Thanks for listening. Be kind. Rewind.